And survived another night. Mosquitoes seem to have called it quits a little early, so we were actually able to get out and pee and all that. 7:30 and I'm just trying to hide in the shade just long enough to get yesterday's video up. So the solution for not just being covered in sweat is get out of the tent and kind of hide behind the mesh shadow here. It should be almost up to 100 today. We are kind of right on the border between really hot and miserably hot at the moment. We have just a little bit of breeze, which has given us some relief. But I've been in my sun gear basically since I woke up. We are going to meet somebody. We were supposed to meet him Sunday, but now we're doing better than we expected, so it's probably going to be Saturday. And one of the things he's bringing is a package where I got a shirt that's like this, except it's intended to be a little looser, and it's a button-up. It's one of the Jolly Gear shirts. And I used to wear the button-up shirts when I would go hike in the desert, and it was really hot. It's just a little more comfortable than having, tight material, plus the sun's not beating directly down on this, transferring the heat through. And we are off, and it is warm. This river just does such weird things sometimes. So we've got calm water there, and obviously it's shallower here, and we've got something's almost breaking the water out there. But we're in this kind of like standing chop, just in this one section. So this is kind of an extreme example, but we're still finding the nice kind of dredge sand beaches here and there. And in some cases it really looks like it was depositive, like they were dredging the channel and that's where they dumped it. Stuff like this, it really makes you wonder though, because you can see there's asphalt and rocks where they were trying to mitigate erosion on either side. And did they just dump sand right there? Was it an old wing dam or something? And we're all sorts of curious. Since we're primarily trying to camp on that, we spend a lot of time looking for beaches or looking on the satellite map, trying to figure out where there's going to be a beach, making a guess, going out to the point, only to find instead it's, rocks and vegetation like that. It's about 95, 97 degrees, and on the water it's not too bad. The moment we come in to take a pee break or anything though, we just start sweating buckets. Interestingly enough, the watercolor's actually been changing sometimes. You can see it's more greenish here versus out in the main channel it's muddier. And just to give you a sense of scale, it's probably another 4 miles or so out to that far tree line. The massive scale of the river out here just messes with us trying to make any sort of estimates. Plus side, you put your head down, you get to the other side, and then you have done a non-trivial amount of miles. And that is enough to make us all nostalgic. So that is actually a lock and dam. That's where the White River comes into the Mississippi. I know they have them on a bunch of other rivers, because when I was looking up the lockage report for one of the Mississippi locks at one point, trying to figure out what was going on, they list a whole bunch of different systems of them. Granted, that doesn't look like it's going to go up very far. It's a little after 7. It's just starting to get pleasant, but unfortunately Miss Buzzkill McTaterface back there is talking about making us stop, so we're gonna go check that out.
Last night, can we have a night where we can maybe get in the tent before the mosquitoes come?
We were on the shore before dark last night. It was all good. We are 5.7 miles from a new record for our daily mileage, and Taters is totally not feeling it. And welcome to camp. Blondie says we have to stay here. The real reason Taters got me a stop early is she said if we did, she would swim tonight, and therefore the tent would be at least 50% less stinky.
So, well, I, as well as Matt, enjoy the evening paddling hours. Those are the nicest time to be paddling. I did want to get to camp earlier tonight. I didn't go in the water with Matt last night because it was late enough. I was tired. Didn't want to be out in the mosquitoes any more than necessary. Wanted to just get get dinner and get to bed. So when we get to camp around this time, I actually went in with him.
I like how you list last night as get dinner and get to bed when it was really get to the wine bottle.
Well, yeah. There was that too. So yeah, had a really nice swim. There were fish jumping just about 10 feet away from Matt. Yeah, big fish. They're probably not going to do it on camera though. They never do it on command.
I keep the tether on all the time because I'm convinced that one of the fish is going to like land on me, smack the phone into the river.
So here's a couple of the attempts to contain the river up close. We got part of this island is built up with rocks. The other part is built up with these tiles. And I like that tree growing in the middle of the tiles, the one thing that I guess survived the sand and dirt eroding off the top of them. We couldn't tell what the tiles were made of from way out on the river. So up close, they're basically bricks, some type of conglomerate cement. And as an added perk at this camp, we have shallows over there. We're close enough to the trees. We're getting the kind of jungle background noise with the insects and toads and whatnot as well. There are also a ton of animal tracks over this area. And Matt saw a pack of something running around up here before we came over. Couldn't quite see what they were from far away. So good chance of maybe deer, maybe coyotes, maybe dogs.
Today did actually feel like it went pretty damn straightforward. It's always nice when you look at the map and you're like, oh, we've done 35 miles already.
Just another day on the river. A day that made for very relaxing and satisfying paddling. And that we're worried is not going to make for that great of a video because nothing really stood out. Nothing super memorable, just good consistent paddling. Did 5 miles an hour, about 10 hours, made about 50 miles. Pretty shorelines, just nothing that really stood out. We got a really nice camp. Awesome jungle noises, river noises, close to the trees, barely had to carry up the boat at all. Look at this, best thing. Barely 20 feet to carry the boat and heavy bags in the morning. Home sweet home for the night.